Hey, what's going on, Guardians? My name is the Black Link, coming back at you for your nice midweek update, your second injection of some TBL this week, as it were. It's hump day. I hope your week's been going well. You're almost to the weekend, about halfway there. And I have been playing an awful lot of Outriders. That's right, in the last video we talked a bit about trying that game out. I know it's all the rage right now amongst the looter-shooter aficionados, and quite a few of you guys came to me in my last video and talked to me about playing Outriders. A lot of you guys said you really enjoyed it. You know, I played the demo for it a month or two ago, and I had a pretty good time with it. I enjoyed what I saw. I liked the world and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't jump on the game when it initially came out. Well, I went ahead and pulled the trigger based on you all's recommendation and bought the full game of Outriders, and I gotta say, I have been enjoying my time with it. The game is definitely a little rough around the edges. There's some choices that I hope Square pushes some fixes for in the future, smooths some things out. But really, I've been enjoying the game. It's like a weird mishmash, a mixture of a bunch of different, really good looter shooters, taking a lot of great ideas from all of them. As a matter of fact, you could probably entirely describe Outriders by using other games. You could you could probably describe the entirety of that game by just referencing other games. Let's see if we can do that. Gameplay: Gears of War, Tom Clancy's The Division. Leveling system: Diablo 4, Destiny Edition. Story: Anthem. But like Anthem in a good way, though. I've actually really been enjoying the story that we're going through. I think there's a lot to love here. There's really a lot to love. The gameplay is really fun. It's somewhat cover-based, but that really expands the further you get in. I love that this is leaning heavily into the RPG side of things. Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to say, abilities like class abilities and builds, Borderlands. It's very Borderlands when it comes to a lot of the class abilities. But I love that you can make like a dedicated tank class with Devastator. I love that you've got Pyromancer and Trickster and Technomancer as pseudo DPS and healing classes. I love that they're really leaning into the whole RPG sort of build, and it really expands the gameplay. Like when I started this off, I thought, okay, it's going to be a generic third-person cover shooter kind of experience. But then, you know, you get a couple levels in, and it's like, oh, never mind. I set up a build where I think what I'm running right now is basically I'm just pushing for weapon damage and armor damage and healing, because the way you heal in this game is by dealing damage either with your abilities or by getting kills just based on whatever class you're playing. So if you're a Technomancer like me, you just generally heal by shooting and attacking enemies. So I've got like a weapon damage build up right now, and I just run around with a shotgun, get in enemies' faces, blow them away, and heal off any of the damage that they deal to me. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it thus far. I'd say I'm about midway through the story. I'm approaching somewhere around level 15 or whatnot. Though the gameplay you're seeing here is from like really early in the game. I think it's like right after you get out of the first area. And I know you max out your EXP level at level 30 in this, and then that, much like many other looter shooters out there like Destiny and The Division, once you've beaten the story is where the game really opens up. Outriders rocks a world tier system very much like Tom Clancy's The Division 2, where you can bump up your world difficulty level to get a better chance at getting higher rated loot, but also with way more powerful enemies. And I really love that sort of system because it really keeps you busy after you've beaten the game. Like you beat the game, you bump up your world tier to say world tier 5, and it's like, all right, suddenly all these enemies are way stronger than what you were fighting in the story, but you're getting way better gear. And then once you're decked out in some really nice sets and you've built a nice build, maybe you can jump up to World Tier 10 and ultimately reach World Tier, I think 15 is the current highest. I love that sort of system, and I can't wait to see what else Square Enix has got in store. But while I am enjoying my Outriders experience, it's by no means a perfect game. It's a little glitchy at times. I've had some issues, shall we say, running the game. I am playing on PC. It seems like DirectX 11, running it with that just causes entirely odd issues. It's playable, but like you get into cutscenes and people will just disappear. Additionally, man, I don't know who it is in the game design process that makes these decisions, who the cinematographer is, but I hate the shaky cam in the cutscenes in Outriders. It's so frustrating. It can make it really difficult to focus on what's actually going on there. Like seriously, to the point where some cutscenes will happen, like I just can't focus on what's going on. Thankfully, there is a way in settings to turn that off, but I don't know why devs do that. It's two things. It's shaky cams in video games and motion blur. I don't know why devs are in love with those two things, but I really wish they would stop it with that. And as a part of that, the menu system is so bad in Outriders. Look. It's clear that the developers of this game, the developers of Outriders, People Can Fly, and of course their publisher Square Enix, took a lot of inspiration from a lot of the more successful looter shooters out there. When you play this game, you can feel the Diablo. You can see the inspiration that the Division 1 and the Division 2 have had on it. And of course, the big daddy, the big fish in the pond right now, Destiny. Destiny's probably the biggest looter shooter out there. And you can tell that it had a lot of influence on the development of Outriders. And that's a good thing. I am really happy that the devs of Outriders have been learning lessons from the other titans of this industry. That is exactly what they should be doing if they want to make a really successful game. Copy the people who are doing it right and then expand on it and make your own sort of experience. And for the most part, they do that. But good lord, People Can Fly. It's alright, just go ahead and copy Destiny's menu and inventory system. You already kind of have, but you made a really clunky version of it. Seriously, the map, the quest tab, the inventory screen is all took some pretty clear inspiration from Destiny, and I think that's great. Destiny has a really good menu and UI system right now. I would say just do a bit more copying. It's like when you copy your friend's homework in school. It's like, yeah, you can take my homework, but just change some of the answers around so the teacher won't notice it. That's what Outriders' menu system is like to me. It's really clunky, it's really slow, and hopefully that's something they sort of revamp as they start pushing out updates for this game. But again, ultimately, I'm having a lot of fun playing Outriders. I should be having some live streams of it coming up real soon. The story has been good. I enjoy the voice acting. I love the amount of respect that is generally paid to your character. It always kind of rubs me the wrong way in games like Destiny, where you're sort of treated like a cog in the machine, even though you're the guardian who's like killed Oryx, defeated Gaul. You know, that whole speech from Hawthorne there in the tower. Whereas in Outriders, it's established very early on that what you are is rare, and it's so rare and powerful that people have just started paying immense amounts of respect to you, to the point where it's almost worship. I thought that was a really interesting way to sort of introduce your character and drop them into a world where there's other people with powers in it, but there's very few who are like you. It's a really cool notion, and I've been enjoying the way the narrative has been unfolding. Like I said earlier, if you really think about it, the story of Outriders thus far is basically just the story of Anthem, but told in a much better way. Though there is still the fair bit of cringe in the Outriders story. But anyways, I'm enjoying my time with Outriders. I thank you all a lot for the recommendation. I have been having a lot of fun with it, and I cannot wait to start streaming it for you guys real soon. But that's it for this one, Guardians. Thank you all so much for watching. How many of you out there are Outriders? Let me know down in the comment section below. What builds are you rocking? What do you think of the game? Can't wait to read it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the latest stuff we're putting out. Can't wait to start putting out Outriders content. There's a lot to this game, and it is a lot of fun thus far. But anyways, I gotta get back to playing. As always, I am the Black Link. You Guardians, stay frosty.